In the 21st century, as Earth faces a dire overpopulation problem, humanity seeks refuge on Mars. But to make the red planet habitable, they must first transform its harsh conditions. To kickstart the process, they send moss and hardy creatures like cockroaches. Fast forward to 2597, where fugitives Komachi and Nanao dodge Tokyo's relentless police pursuit. A flying car piloted by Dr. Honda intervenes. Honda's mission is clear: eliminate the cockroaches on Mars. Seeing potential in the criminal duo, he offers them a deal: eradicate the Martian roaches, get rewarded handsomely, and erase their past crimes. However, there's a catch: they must undergo a risky surgery. Initially hesitant, Komachi eventually agrees to the procedure to be with Nanao. 2 years later, they're on the spaceship Bugs 2 with a diverse crew heading to Mars. A spar between Jin and Komachi ends in a draw, and Jin tries to make a move on Nanao but is rejected. Ichiro scoffs at the idea of this being freedom. As Lee munches on some creepy crawlies, Tezuka sneaks up to Maria. He startles her by licking her hand, making Maria run to Osako for comfort and safety. The women pass by, catching the attention of Toramaru and Yoshikane. Asuka confronts them. Nanao reveals the shocking truth. Toramaru and Yoshikane are yakuza. Asuka's a corrupt cop. Tezuka's a serial killer. Maria's an illegal immigrant. Osako exploits teens. Ichiro's a hacker. And Lee is a terrorist. Nanao ponders whether Honda hired only criminals like her and Komachi. Jin, a kickboxer, suggests they were likely chosen due to their desperate need for money. As they approach Mars, Captain Dojima and Lieutenant Mina instruct the crew to prepare for landing. Mars, once red, now resembles Earth due to terraforming. Mina deploys a chemical device to exterminate roaches, and Dojima divides the team to ensure the process works. Asuka refuses to work with the yakuza, opting for Ichiro as her partner. Yoshikane is offended, but Dojima accepts the change to prevent conflict. Once the crew departs, Dojima deploys a hidden Japanese probe, Bugs 1. He informs Honda that all is proceeding as planned, and who anticipates global control if the mission succeeds. Teams explore Mars, but Jin and Maria are shocked to encounter 3 strange creatures with clubs. They hide, puzzled by the unmentioned Martians. Komachi and Nanao face a similar creature. Komachi's communication attempts turn fatal as it kills Nanao. Jin discovers them and reveals that Asuka met the same fate. The crew rushes back to the ship, learning the shocking truth from Dojima. Roaches sent to Mars 500 years ago have evolved into formidable beings, dubbed Terraformars, thriving on space radiation and extreme conditions. They're now stronger than humans, and the government concealed this fact. The crew is furious over the deception, but then Honda appears as a hologram, reminding them of their financial motivation and the genetic surgery. This procedure infused bug DNA in them, granting superpowers for the mission. He urges them to combat the roaches and vanishes. Dojima clarifies that injecting a bug cell activator will activate their powers temporarily, but overuse can be fatal. Tezuka finds it exciting, but others are concerned. Mina questions Dojima's silence, and he discloses he was under orders to keep it confidential, sharing the information through their suits connected to their minds. Amid a debate about returning to Earth, the ship's computer alerts the crew to approaching roaches. Lee bravely volunteers to confront them, fueled by the idea of using newfound powers for revenge against the government. His comrades discover he was a renowned figure in the Middle East, known as the Immortal God Lee, suggesting he can handle the roaches. Equipped with an activator, Lee transforms into a hybrid of a human and a bombardier beetle, granting him the insect's flame-throwing abilities. He battles a relentless roach, eventually incinerating it. However, another roach attacks the ship. It enters and swiftly eliminates 2 crew members. Dojima injects himself with genes from the South American Paraponera ant, granting him super strength and a potent stinger. This insect can hoist loads 100 times its mass and boasts a stinger as agonizing as a gunshot. He swiftly dispatches the intruding roach, saving the crew. The ship's computer detects a horde of approaching roaches, raising concerns among the crew. Osako questions the roaches' deadly intent. Maria explains the roaches' aggression stems from a desire to eliminate them, recalling a personal encounter where she killed a roach on a whim. While most of the crew yearns to return to Earth, Mina's discovery of the non-functional control panel and backup system prompts Dojima to propose a plan. He intends to use the pheromones of a fallen roach to lure the others away, allowing the team to safely retrieve necessary parts from Bugs 1 for repairs. Some crew members wish to remain and assist the captain, but Ichiro insists they depart. As the roaches draw nearer, the team prepares to leave. Komachi pauses to visit Nanao, noting peculiar strings emanating from her mouth. With the rover poised to traverse the roach-infested area, Tezuka volunteers for combat, injecting himself with rove beetle DNA, which grants him projectile gas attacks and rapid escapes. Upon opening the door, Mina encounters a swarm of roaches. Tezuka, positioned on the rover's roof, disperses gas to clear a path for their escape. Back on the ship, Ichiro transforms, but as the roaches breach the defenses, he seeks refuge. Amid the escalating roach invasion, Dojima reflects on his recruitment by Honda, an offer of captaincy in exchange for a Mars egg. Overwhelmed, Ichiro seals the ship, sacrificing some roaches in the process. The roach numbers overwhelm them. He vacuums the oxygen, suffocating the remaining roaches. Though Dojima continues to fight valiantly, the dwindling air supply renders both him and Ichiro unconscious. Meanwhile, Jin inquires about Komachi's relationship with Nanao, prompting Komachi to reminisce about their recruitment day. Nanao endured an abusive stepfather after her mother's passing, forcing her into compromising situations for money. Komachi intervened one evening, disarming the aggressor with ease but failing to deter him. Nanao seized a dropped knife and struck back. To protect his girlfriend, Komachi took the knife and made it appear he was responsible. In the present, Komachi questions Jin's reason for coming to Mars. Jin shares he's lost everything, his sole friend succumbing to illness. Suddenly, the rover team faces a colossal wave of roaches, akin to a tsunami. Mina propels the rover through the swarm, with Tezuka's gas fire decimating the roaches. Their celebration is short-lived as they spot a larger second wave approaching. Facing an overwhelming roach wave, Tezuka gets support from Maria and Osako, who both transform. Osako becomes a hard-shell weevil, known for its impenetrable shell, while Maria becomes a rainbow stag beetle with deceptive camouflage. Together, they shield Tezuka on the rover's roof, enabling them to pass through. However, a crash leaves the crew unconscious, and the rover mysteriously departs, leaving them vulnerable. Roaches swiftly surround and mercilessly eliminate the trio. Later, the team awakens at Bugs 1, unaware of a nearby surveillance drone. Toramaru and Yoshikane guard the entrance while the team investigates the ship. Mina finds the ship's computer transmitting data to Earth. Suddenly, gunshots ring out, and they rush outside to find Yoshikane and Toramaru dead. Yoshikane, a diving beetle, and Toramaru, a mole cricket, couldn't unleash their underwater and underground skills. Roaches armed with Bugs 1 weapons appear. Komachi mutates into an Asian giant hornet, taking on the deadly bugs with relentless stings. Jin joins as a migratory locust with incredible jumping power, and Mina transforms into a giant Asian mantis with razor-sharp legs. Together, they eliminate the roaches. When the fog clears, a pyramid surprises them. A distant roach spies on Bugs 2. Out of the blue, the surprising revelation occurs. A cockroach that can talk and has a phone. It calls Honda to report a successful plan. Honda cautions it about Komachi's aggressive transformation. Inside the ship, the cockroach restores oxygen and confronts Dojima, claiming to be the captain. To Dojima's confusion, the creature splits, unveiling a mutated Asuka, an emerald cockroach wasp with mind-controlling abilities. Asuka and Ichiro, secretly working for Honda, eliminate Dojima. Asuka douses Ichiro, awakening his dormant mutations from the Central African sleeping chironomid bug. This bug survives danger by entering stasis and reawakening with water. They then attend to the mission, involving a second-generation roach egg. As Ichiro reactivates the ship, Nanao's body keeps producing a mysterious white substance. Bug 2 activates, surprising Komachi and the group. A drone controlled by Honda unveils itself, thanking them for battle data and exposing Ichiro's ship sabotage. Honda informs them of Dojima's death and his secret plan, using roaches as super soldiers. Honda reveals the Bug 1 pod brought back a roach head to Earth. The government approved experimenting on criminals, as regular astronauts had morals. The mission is to retrieve the egg, not exterminate the roaches. Genetic memory explains the pyramid, revealing roaches as aliens who once manipulated humanity and then migrated to Mars. Ichiro prepares to depart, recalling his mission's purpose. With many siblings and a sick mother in poverty, he hoped to gain wealth by selling valuable research with his professor's recommendation. The scheming professor falsely framed Ichiro for attacking a co-worker, resulting in his expulsion. In contrast, Asuka joined the project for its power. Unexpectedly, the egg hatches prematurely, giving birth to 2 highly evolved cockroaches. Asuka's attempts to control them fail. These second-generation roaches easily eliminate Asuka, more to disrupt Bugs 2. Roaches from the ground swarm the ship, causing a malfunction and an engine explosion. Inside, Ichiro defends against roach attacks by entering stasis. Bugs 2 crashes near Bugs 1, and the trio transforms to battle the roaches. Initially successful, the evolved roaches from the egg join the fight, overwhelming them. Mina falls victim to her arm, prompting Jin and Komachi to take additional doses, granting them bug-like abilities. Jin grows wings, engaging roaches in the sky and smashing them against the ship. Roaches keep coming, exhausting the guys. Ignoring Komachi's warnings, Jin takes more doses, forfeiting his chance to become human again. He attacks an evolved roach but soon collapses. Komachi tries to defend him but loses his stingers. Just when all seems lost, a radiant, magical creature, Nanao, a silkworm moth, arrives and spreads glowing moth scales, creating a dust explosion. Jin realizes it's a sacrifice. Komachi pleads with Nanao, growing wings to reach her. A roach fires, triggering the explosion. As roaches die, Jin rescues Komachi, but Nanao sacrifices herself to save them. The explosion startles Bugs 1, waking up Ichiro with a splash of water. He defeats a threatening roach, driven by a promise to his mother. As Jin and Ichiro weaken and fall, Komachi awakens to find Jin now insect-like, but able to communicate. Jin urges Komachi to leave for Earth, honoring Nanao's sacrifice. Komachi spots surviving roaches, including an evolved one, and decides to spare them. Inside the ship, Komachi confronts Ichiro, but they unite when Ichiro saves Komachi from a roach. They locate an escape pod and return to Earth. Cockroaches consider pursuit, but the evolved one intervenes, preventing it. Back on Earth, Honda discovers Ichiro's system hack to reveal the truth globally, but he's unfazed. He plans to lay low and pitch his idea to another government. Honda's assistant, actually a Japanese government operative, attempts to shoot him, but his protective barrier blocks the bullet. He retaliates by unleashing a mechanical spider that ends her life. In space, Ichiro vows to expose everyone linked to the mission, while Komachi promises to create graves for their fallen crewmates before returning to Mars.